Six Flags Over Texas is the original park in the Six Flags chain. This theme park is among the best looking ones in the chain, and it also has one of the best ride lineups. It currently has 13 different roller coasters, with the 14th on the way in 2022 in Aquaman. Then you also have some nice dark rides and exciting flat rides to round out the ride collection. So in this video, I will rank my top 20 favorite rides and attractions at this Arlington, Texas theme park. Number 20, El Diablo. The world's largest Larson Loop may not be a roller coaster like Six Flags claims it to be, but it still is a decent flat ride. It has oodles of hang time, especially when you stall upside down for a few seconds. Number 19, El Aserradero. The world's first log flume had a major impact on the entire amusement industry. This arrow creation has a relaxing layout through the woods, and you can barely see any of it off-ride. The final plunge may not be overly tall nor steep, but it yields the perfect splash. Number 18, Oil Derrick. This giant observation tower offers amazing views of both Six Flags Over Texas and the surrounding area. I love how there's a walking platform at the top, so you can spend as much or as little time as you like admiring the view. Number 17, Superman Tower of Power. This giant S&S combo tower stands 325 feet, or 99 meters tall. The height offers great views like the aforementioned Oil Derrick, but this one is a thrill ride. The ride may be one of the weakest S&S drop towers in terms of force though. The launch didn't have much oomph to it, and it only yielded weak floater airtime at the top. Then the drop, while long, only offered a tiny pop of airtime at the start, and no stomach dropping sensation. Number 16, Roaring Rapids. This scenic river rapids ride has a simple layout, but this intimate creation can be an absolute soaker, which is an absolute godsend on those hot Texas days. Number 15, La Vibora. This intimate bobsled has the exact same layout as Gray Escape's Alpine bobsled, but there is one major difference: the cars. This one has inline seating, and due to the restraints, you need to be careful that you don't bash your legs. The cars feel like they travel more slowly than the ones in Alpine bobsled, but it's still a fun visual riding in such an oversized trough. Number 14, Runaway Mine Train. The original Arrow Mine Train is still fun. The turns can be a bit jerky, but I love the scenic layout. And then the ride has an awesome finale. The final lift hill takes place in a well-themed saloon, and then you have a surprisingly good drop if you're in the back car. It gives some nice ejector airtime as you dip into a tunnel. Number 13, Pandemonium. This Gerstlauer spinning coaster may be a clone, but it's an enjoyable family coaster. The drops have some nice zip to them if you get to experience them either backwards or sideways. And then you can get some solid spinning on the helixes, particularly if you're lucky enough to get an off-balance car. Number 12, Judge Roy's Scream. The park's lone wooden roller coaster was designed by William Cobb. This out-and-back coaster has a simple layout, and while many of the hills are duds, there are some standout moments. The first Camelback offers some very abrupt airtime throughout the train, as does a surprise ejector pop on a speed hill right before the brake run. Number 11, Harley Quinn Spinsanity. This ABC Rides Tour Beyond is a ride I seem to like more than most enthusiasts. The ride looks absolutely mesmerizing off-ride with all those axes of rotation, and if you can ride this on end, you will get some amazing near misses with the frame. And I also have good luck getting this one to flip a lot, and those flips are loaded with hang time when they happen. The key seems to be a ride with it partially or weakly loaded. A fully loaded car tends to get stuck in rocking purgatory. Up next would have been Yosemite Sam's Gold River Adventure. Destroyed by a flood, this charming Looney Tunes dark ride will be missed. I was a big fan of the Looney Tunes growing up, so I loved how the characters finally got their own dark ride, even if the figures and animatronics were simpler than most modern dark rides. While this version of the ride will never reopen due to a flood, the park is renovating the ride and reopening it in 2022 as Pirates of Speelunker Cave. Number 10, Runaway Mountain. This is a weird indoor coaster from Premier Rides. It's one of the company's few non-launched roller coasters, and it basically copies the layout of the portable windstorm coasters you can find at carnivals and smaller parks. Now, the darkness does augment a fairly simple layout, the ride is smooth, and you have one real standout moment with that demonically twisted fourth drop. That drop pulls some intense positive G's as you're abruptly whipped down and up. Number 9, Justice League Battle for Metropolis. This interactive shooting dark ride is a lot of fun. The effects work perfectly in this one. The physical props in between the screens are a nice touch, but the focal point of this ride really are the screens. There are plenty of targets to shoot at, and I love the integration of the famous DC characters into the ride. I do find the final scene a bit dark and chaotic, but everything that precedes it is very good. Number 8, Texas SkyScreamer. This gargantuan Funtime Starflyer stands a whopping 400 feet, or 122 meters tall, so it offers stunning views of both the amusement park and the surrounding cities. It's also a psychological thriller being suspended that high above the ground by a series of metal chains. And if you ride this one on a windy day, your swing will dance in the air. Number 7, Joker. This S&S free spin is a chaotic but comfortable ride experience. I usually get a strong flip off the lift hill, and then 2 to 3 others on the rest of the layout. I know this ride has been cloned ad nauseum, but I don't mind one bit because the experience contrasts so mightily with the rest of the park. Number 6, Riddler Revenge. This Zamperla Giant Discovery is the park's best flat ride. These rides are always a blast thanks to their sustained floater airtime, sense of speed, and good positive Gs. Plus, all the ones in the Six Flags chain always have a long cycle. Number 5, Titan. This Giovanola hypercoaster is monstrous. While it doesn't have as much airtime as other hypercoasters, you can still get some floater airtime on the first drop in the back, and then everyone gets sustained airtime on the giant camelback. But where this coaster really shines is in the positive G department. The fast upwards helix before the mid-course brake run is downright insane and a gray out moment. Then the second half, even while severely trimmed, has some very sustained positive Gs as well. While this isn't quite what I personally want in a hypercoaster, it is still a fun ride that I talk about more in a separate review. Number 4, Batman the Ride. This is probably the worst clone of this popular invert, but it's still a very good ride. This one has some uncharacteristic headbanging peppered throughout the layout, but the layout is just as forceful and intense as ever. I love how all 5 inversions whip you through them, and my legs always come off tingling from the forces. Number 3, Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast. This Premier Ride shuttle coaster is insane. While the backwards launch is just okay, the rest of the layout is amazing. The inverted top hat is one of the world's craziest elements because of the positive Gs, confusing pop of airtime, and disorientation that it causes. It's rare to get all those sensations at once. You then have a strong overbank and a thrilling spike with a booster launch. And that booster will mess with your mind, and that spike as a whole lasts forever and gives really good weightlessness. Being able to experience this layout both forwards and backwards is a real treat, and I talk about it more in a separate review. Number 2, Shockwave. This 40-plus-year-old coaster is wonderful. The back-to-back vertical loops always cause me to gray out, and they actually approach 6 Gs. Then you have some shocking airtime around those inversions. The 2 drops off the turnarounds that follow the loops in particular stand out, as they have some extremely powerful and abrupt ejector airtime. And then there are some smaller pops mixed in as well. And despite this ride's age, it is still very smooth. And coming in at number 1 is the new Texas Giant. The prototype Rocky Mountain Construction Iron Horse conversion is a great coaster still. RMC turned a rough and aging wooden coaster into an airtime machine. The first half has some strong ejector airtime on the first drop and the lower speed hills, plus you have a series of overbanks with some nice laterals and head choppers. Then the second half has weaker airtime than the company's later creations, but most hills will still pop you out of your seat. Add in a very long and smooth ride, and it's no surprise why this coaster is the top attraction here. I talk about this one more in a separate review. So those are the top 20 rides and attractions at Six Flags Over Texas, in my opinion. What are your favorite rides at this park, or thoughts on any of the attractions I included, or some I may have missed? If you enjoyed this video, I'd love to hear any of your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this countdown, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.